Today, we're diving into a tiny but mighty showdown: chia seeds versus basil seeds. I feel like chia seeds have been the superfood sweetheart for many years, and now basil seeds are gaining more popularity. And today I wanted to compare and contrast and see which of these seeds is the best fit for you and which ones you should be eating on a daily basis. Hi, I'm Val. I'm a registered dietitian, and I'm your go-to source for practical, evidence-based nutrition tips. So the goal is to figure out which one's better for digestion, satiety, which one you might like better based on your taste preferences. So let's jump right in. As a dietitian mom, I have always been trying to boost my kids' nutrition without being too sneaky. Anything that's a nutritional booster, specifically chia seeds, we call them nutrition sprinkles. And they've made their way into everything breakfast foods: pancakes, smoothies, chia seed puddings over many, many years. And they are packed with nutrition. They actually have 10 grams of fiber per 2 tablespoons, about 5 grams of protein, and they are loaded with plant-based omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential for our overall brain health, and they also can help reduce our overall inflammation. Chia seeds also are so incredible for digestion because we're not joking around when you add 10 grams of fiber to one single meal. You might know basil seeds from the popular Asian drink Faluda. I am actually more new to them, and we have become obsessed with them over the past couple of years. They're these teeny tiny seeds. So when we look at a chia seed versus a basil seeds are even smaller than a chia seeds and look almost identical to a poppy seed, but they are incredibly powerful. And I like to think of them as a sponge that can totally pop up when they're filled with water. Basil seeds are actually made from the sweet basil plant. So yes, if you would plant them in your backyard, you would maybe get a basil plant as well. And they have this like very, very slight basil flavor or fragrance that comes from them, which is great for people that struggle with nausea or don't have a great appetite in the morning. They are the easiest way to bump up fiber compared to any other food that I've ever seen. 2 tablespoons of basil seeds gives you 15 grams of fiber. That's absolutely wild. I always like to think about, like, if you had to have salad or if you were eating cereals, how many cups and servings you would need to get to 15 grams of fiber. We'd be talking a whole mountain and pile just for this very simple way of getting 15 grams of fiber. Similarly to chia seeds, they also contain about 5 grams of protein, and they do also contain omega-3s, but just slightly lower than chia seeds. Do not forget to subscribe to our gut health newsletter, where we get practical tips and recipes straight to your inbox. You can subscribe to the newsletter below. One of the biggest differentiating factors between basil seeds and chia seeds is the type of fiber. So both of them have a lot of soluble fiber. So if you've never made chia seed pudding, or if you've never seen basil seeds, these seeds soak up 9 to 20 times the amount of water that you put with it. So oftentimes when we eat basil seeds or chia seeds, you'll actually rehydrate it, so soak it in water, and you see them plump up and explode. It is so, so cool. For basil seeds, you take something that looks like a poppy seed, and then it blows up, and it has a really similar texture and consistency to like boba tea. So like those pearls, it feels almost like a tapioca pudding. It's a really cool texture, and I really actually think it's very satisfying. So soluble fiber is the fiber that absorbs water, and it's incredible for our digestive system. It can help our digestive system detoxify and make really great form bowel movements. So that is a great addition. Also, both chia seeds and basil seeds with that soluble fiber can help our body get rid of cholesterol. When we eat basil seeds or chia seeds, we produce more bile to break it down, and the fiber traps the bile and makes us eliminate it in our bowels, overall lowering our cholesterol levels. So if you or anyone in your family has high cholesterol, my favorite way to help nip that in the bud is by starting breakfast off with 2 tablespoons of either chia seeds or basil seeds, because they are packed with fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber. So I like to think of it insoluble fiber of fibers that don't absorb any water. So it adds bulk to our stools and can help our stools move along in our digestive system a little bit faster. So think about kale. If you soak kale in water, it's not gonna absorb any of the water. You're just gonna have kale soup. That is kind of the insoluble fibers. A practical and fun fact is basil seeds swell up with water almost instantly in a span of like a couple of minutes, and you can watch it plump up. It's actually really fun. It will be fully absorbing the water, versus chia seeds, you need to leave it for 15 to 30 minutes, and I oftentimes will meal prep that and leave it in the fridge, versus basil seeds are really instant. So if you want to be getting breakfast out the door in an instant, basil seeds might be the winner there. One thing I can guarantee you as a GI dietitian is by adding in basil seeds or chia seeds, your gut health will thank you, and if you're struggling with constipation, that will be really nipped in the bud. Here's the big caveat caveat, you definitely need to be having that with enough water and hydration. So let's just do a quick rundown. Chia seeds do not need to be soaked, but I really highly recommend you double down on getting your water in a day because your body needs it for the digestion. But both chia seeds and basil seeds would be a choking hazard, so they always need to be rehydrated just for a few minutes in water before you eat them. I love them and I put them in my yogurt all the time, both chia seeds and basil seeds. But make sure you're rehydrating those basil seeds, and chia seeds, you can just pop them right in. Both are loaded with antioxidants, fiber, and high quality plant-based omega-3 fatty acids. And both are great prebiotic fibers, and prebiotic fibers are actually the food for probiotics. So we definitely want to be feeding our gut microbiome to keep it as healthy as humanly possible, and this is a great addition. Okay, so let's just do a rapid fire. Which one's higher in protein? Chia seeds are a little bit higher in protein. Which one's higher in healthy fats? Chia seeds are slightly higher in healthy fats. And which is higher in fiber? That is where basil seeds take the cake with an additional 5 grams of fiber per 2 tablespoons. And just a quick note, before you add in chia or basil seeds, if you are on blood thinners, I highly recommend you talk to your doctor because this can slow down your clotting time. For minerals, they are both high in calcium, high in magnesium, and high in iron. And then in terms of antioxidants, they are both loaded with polyphenols that are really anti-inflammatory to our body. Let's get practical for a second. Let's talk about how we can use these seeds. Chia seeds, because they don't need to be soaked, can be more versatile, and you can kind of throw them into any of your favorite breakfast foods. You can throw it into your bowl of cereal, you can throw it into your smoothies, your yogurt, your cottage cheese, or your oatmeal. For basil seeds, they're gonna be plumping up and they actually get a little bit bigger. A lot of my clients love them because they don't get as stuck in your teeth. They're just a little bit too big to get stuck in your teeth. So they're bigger in volume when they plump up than a chia seed, which a lot of people like that texture a little bit better. But this is where it comes down to personal preference. Both are packed with so much nutrition that I'd encourage you to try both of them and see what works for you. Also, I always encourage people to do low and slow by adding in 1 tablespoon at a time, because if you jump to adding 10 to 15 grams more fiber in your day, that can actually lead to bloating and digestive issues just because your body's not used to it yet. The other thing is, if you are a hungry person, both of these foods are going to be a game changer for you. Because they're so high in soluble fiber, they are so slow to digest in our stomach, keeping you full for longer. And a lot of my clients say, like, if I have this for breakfast, I am full for 5+ hours and really fueled until lunch. The reason we got into these in my family is because my husband's a dentist and he's literally in patients' mouths from 7:30 in the morning until 1 p.m. And he needed a breakfast that kept him full and fueled, and adding seeds in have been an absolute game changer in keeping us full and satiated. And if you like tapioca, basil seeds are so similar in texture and nature of tapioca that might be a better option for you than chia seeds, but both are great, versatile, and I love to have in my pantry. Both basil seeds or chia seeds can be added in for a refreshing drink. You can add just a tablespoon into a big cup of water or iced tea or lemonade. You do this a lot in Asian and Persian cultures with adding in more fiber, and it really adds to make a drink a lot more filling and a lot more nutritiously dense. So let's be honest, when we're comparing chia seeds and basil seeds, that's like comparing chocolate and vanilla. Like, I don't want to have to choose which one. They're both awesome additions. It's just, what do you choose that day? So I actually encourage you to try both of them. Chia seeds are slightly higher in protein and a little bit more omega-3 fatty acids, versus basil seeds, which will have a lot more volume in them, keeping you fuller for longer, and higher in fiber. Want something that supports your gut health and keeps you full and fueled? Both are an excellent option. And for my calorie-focused friends, both will help stabilize your blood sugar levels and keep you fuller for longer. A bonus idea too, which I think can be awesome to get all the polyphenols and all the benefits, is have a jar that you keep chia seeds and basil seeds, and you can even add other seeds like hemp seeds and sesame seeds to be getting all the vitamin E and antioxidants from seed blends, and you don't have to just choose one. So whether you're new to chia seeds or basil seeds, both pack so much nutrition and would be a great addition to your overall health and your gut health. And they add some serious nutrition powers to any meal. So to wrap it up, swap them, mix them, sprinkle them, add them to your favorite meals, and experiment, because your gut will thank you and your overall health will thank you. And if you learned something new today, click the like and subscribe button, because we would love to help you on your journey. It was so great seeing you, and I can't wait to see you soon.